Good morning, Siobhan.
Morning to you both. Nice to see you. Yes, taking a look at the back pages of the papers, there's a lot of focus, of course, on Jared Bowen and his hat-trick last night for West Ham United. Take a bow as the Sun. Bowen does the trick as Hammers get back on track is the headline on the Express. But a lot of focus, of course, on Everton after the news came yesterday of their points deduction and getting a little bit of a boost with an added 4 points back on. So the headline on the back page of the Times is Everton, we have been vindicated. The Express, we proved our points. Vindicated is the headline on the back page of the Mail. And the Mirror going for we proved our point, and a picture of Sean Dyche clapping and looking a little bit more chipper. So Everton claimed to be vindicated after a 10-point deduction for breaking. Spending rules was reduced to 6. They're confident of a significantly reduced punishment for a second breach. Also, of course, we know they've got that second one hanging over them now, as do Forest. So having that points now, that reduced then to 6 points, how much of a boost is that for Everton and say for other clubs going forward?
Well, it's a massive boost. Stating the obvious, they needed the 4 points. It's amazing, Siobhan. I thought they might get a little bit more of it. Deduction. I genuinely did. I thought they might get maybe 6. You're looking maybe.
I thought 4 was the max they would get. Yeah. It might have even been less than that. The problem with all of this is, it's taken 4 months. 4 months to go through the whole process. How can it take that long? And worse, of course, with their other charges. The chance, and against Forest, the chances are if they appeal. And my word, they're going to appeal if they're found guilty. Of course they're going to appeal, because we've seen what happens if you appeal. Then the outcome of those appeals, the verdict won't be made known until after the end of the season, which is as shambolic as it gets.
Of course it is. And do you know who it's not fair on? Never mind Everton. It's not fair on Bournemouth, Palace, Fulham, Brentford, Forest, Luton, teams like that as well. That's who it's not fair on.
It's not fair on the fans either.
Just to give you the full context of that, if Everton play Arsenal on the final day of the season, they still might not know their fate until 5 days after the season ends. Actually, Henry Winter's written in this in the Times today, a victory for fans and a wake-up call for the league. Like you say, Jeff, it's a really ugly look. How do they punish clubs correctly going forward, do you think? Is it something that should happen when the season is over? It should happen in the summertime and avoid it happening midway through?
Well, I mean, that may be one way forward, that that a punishment doesn't apply to the season that you're playing in. I don't know how acceptable people would find that. But I mean, the gist of this is the hearings are in front of an independent commission. They have to be by April the 5th. If the clubs appeal, they have 7 days to appeal. That's April the 12th. But there's not going to be an announcement until May the 24th. Why does it take 6 weeks? Why does it take 6 weeks? And I saw I think it was the Premier League saying, a panel has to be assembled. Well, the panel should be sitting there waiting. If they've appealed on the by the 12th of April, that panel should sit on the 13th of April, not 6 weeks later.
Here's a question for the peer review, and I don't know the answer to it. Can the Premier League appeal the decision today? Mm-hmm. So what if they appeal it?
So they can appeal against the deduction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that possible?
What was given back?
I honestly don't know, but I couldn't imagine them doing it, because they've made such a hash of it so far, haven't they, anyway, by the fact that they've imposed such a humongous punishment, really. And they've just straight-jacketed themselves from now on. Even 6 points. If Forest are found guilty, they must know that the minimum they are getting is 6 points.
Yeah. And do you think that's the right number, by the way?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know.
But is that the precedent now?
It sounds
a
bit draconian, but it is now.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's the standard that they've set after an appeal, 6 points. Okay. It does seem a bit draconian to me, but I'm not absolutely au fait with what all of the charges were and whether the punishment fits the crime.
I know.
Who the heck knows?
I know. That's the thing. Nobody knows. But as I say, and it's not just affecting, you're right to mention the fans, it's affecting everything now, Siobhan. I'm Luton and Bournemouth and all these teams. It's grossly unfair. It's not right the way it's been handled.
Agree.
Yeah, I mean, Everton say they're satisfied with the verdict. Well, it would be now, wouldn't they? They've got 4 points back, but they wouldn't be so satisfied, I suspect, if they're going to get another 6 points deducted come the end of the season. It's just a mess. It's just a mess.
TalkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the TalkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. TalkSPORT.